Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I too am very impressed of the number of people who are taking part today. This is my first webinar. Hope I do it justice and give you a good insight into Mobilityways. So Mobilityways, why sign up? Well, simply put, we signed up as a business because we want to become net zero. We have travel plan commitments, but also a sustainability agenda to achieve net zero by 2030. Transport by staff forms part of this picture. And as an airport, we are a large employer and we want to understand what options are available for our employees and those of our airlines and concessions. With over 1,650 people employed at the airport, even more before the pandemic, we would not be able to do that ourselves. And the airport, we are already using lift share, and Mobilityways was a natural fit, being the sister company. And they share the same staff, so I liaise with Charlotte on both lift share and Mobilityways. So we already have a good sustainable access to the airport, in particular the DLR. With the help of Mobilityways, we've just undertaken a travel survey, which Charlotte mentioned earlier, to find out how people travel to work. The results are it's hot off the press, so the results are being analysed, but Mobilityways facilitated the survey and made everything seamless. They put the survey together, they helped with the questions, the branding, and they gave lots of general advice and were always available to help us out. The survey was completed using their bespoke app, which people found quick and easy to use and access. Particularly helpful was the QR code that they could just scan and then it downloaded the survey. And that was particularly helpful because I could go around with a sheet of paper, not lots of paper and producing more waste, and they could just scan it with their phone and do it there and then. In January, we provided Mobilityways with the postcode of all our employees. Within a matter of weeks, they produced a detailed scoping report, which mapped out what the sustainable transport opportunities were for each person. So that's an enormous task if you were trying to do it without Mobilityways. And they provided us with the carbon saving opportunities per employee. As Charlotte said, we were all amazed and we gasped at those results. They're currently comparing that baseline data, well, that opportunity data, to our actual survey. And I have to say that we're very interested to see the results, and we will be getting those in a couple of weeks. So all the work that they do, you don't have to wait months for it. It is really a matter of weeks to do the report. And I have to say as well that they're very professional, very easy to understand. But interestingly, I've had a sneak peek at the survey. It asks a lot of questions, not just on how people travel to work, but what is stopping them from being more sustainable? What would they like to change? And that's very important to understand, as Charlotte said, because it will enable us to target specifically to what people want rather than what we perceive people would want to achieve. And about 50% of the respondents said that they would car share if they knew somebody who lived near them. Well, interestingly, the Mobilityways scoping has already confirmed that 79% of staff who currently work at the airport live within walking distance of someone else who works at the airport. And that is, to me, a great insight and demonstrates the way that the scoping can really facilitate your travel plans and targets and measures putting in place. The lift share scheme itself was paused during the pandemic. We did do a mini relaunch last year, but with the variants, we had to stop. We stopped that. So with Charlotte, we're going to relaunch our Lift Share next month. And they provide all the comms and support necessary for that. And I think that given the scoping exercise, then it's something that we want to push and monitor uptake. Of course, there will be different shift patterns. The airport's open long hours and other things to consider. But if it makes someone think about the possibilities available to them that they didn't know there was those possibilities before, it's a stepping stone and hopefully a start of a journey to behaviour changes. And this is where the next stage will be to promote the personal travel plans that Charlotte mentioned. They will hopefully come into their own, and they offer a bespoke service to each individual. So Mobilityways, as I said, always on hand to advise and support, and we look forward to seeing what their recommendations are going to be. And it really is a seamless process. They make it look so easy, but I know they're working hard behind the scenes. But they make it easy for us as an airport, and we think it's an invaluable service to help us on the path to net zero.